Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mike, Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, and I am here in my shack. Hey, how's everybody tonight? Uh, hey, I wanted to do this at 10 o'clock this morning, but it didn't want to work. I'll tell you, I love my ham radio deluxe, and I love doing wires. FT8, and I use a couple of different programs to do that at home. I use Ham Radio Deluxe with WSJTX and also Grid Tracker. And I have all three of them tied together. Now, it's kind of complicated how to set it up to get it to work like that, but the guys at Ham Radio Deluxe are amazing. The tech support is right there when you need them. I'll give you a hint. I liked it so much that I asked them today to give me a discount code for my members if they would like to buy the program because it's so worth it. It's still beeping. Something's beeping. I'm going to shut this off. Turn that volume down. Anyway, so what I did was I asked them for the discount code and they gave me one. Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, KO4PDI 20. If you go to Ham Radio Deluxe, the links are on my Facebook page. You can go to Ham Radio Deluxe, download it, and put that coupon code in. Instead of paying 99 bucks, you're only going to pay about 79 bucks. Big difference. So look into that if you would like to have this program. Now I'm going to show you some of the stuff I do with FT8 using Ham Radio Deluxe and Grid Tracker along with WSJTX. Let's take a look. So here you see this is Grid Tracker you're looking at right now. That's me on the top right. The radio is in the middle. It's also me on the bottom right with my logo. And you can see on here, I am on 30 meters right now, and you can see where my signal's going. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Hay fever. It's that time of year in Florida. We got more pollen than we know what to do with. All right, so this is Grid Tracker. Let's turn that off. And first things first, we're going to, all right, turn Grid Tracker off. This is WSJTX. This is the program that does FT8 on your radio. It's controlling my radio. Actually, this isn't controlling my radio right now. This is tied into Ham Radio Deluxe. Right now, we're trying to get a QSO with Delta Charlie 8 Sierra George. And he's not responding, so we're going to dump him. I'll go over there and just go back to QSOs. We could halt transmission and then start from scratch again. Let's see if somebody tries to connect to me. I'm going to show you something over here a lot of people don't know about. What WSJTX does is uses a low, not low power, a weak signal connection with people. You can get very weak signals. You can pick them up. They could be minus 20 dB and you still can make a QSO with them. And what the QSO is a series of messages. You send out a CQ, they respond to you. You send out a response to them, they send a response to you. You say 73 and you're done. Well, what happens is when you do connect with somebody, let's see, I'm going to click on a guy in Italy. Let's do this guy right here. This is Italy, Kilo 5, Edward Alpha. I'm going to try to make a QSO with him. Now, as soon as I clicked on his, I'll show you how I clicked on his call sign. It was actually in Grid Tracker. But what I did was I clicked on his call sign and that populated the messages. If you look at the messages on my WSJTX here, here's his call sign. The first thing I sent him is a signal report. Notice I didn't send him my grid square. When I call CQ, I give my grid square. As soon as he responds to me, I send him a signal report. I don't send him my grid square again. And then he sends me a signal report. Then I say, Roger, Roger, 73, and I send him a signal report, he sends me a signal report, and then I say, hey, Roger, Roger, 73. That's what this message is here on this line. And then after that, he'll respond to me, 73, and there's a QSO. We've made a QSO. So that is what FT8 is. It's short, quick, the minimal amount of transmission between you and another station to get the basic information of a QSO recorded. So I double click on the one. See here where it says TX1? I double click on TX1, which basically eliminates it. It's not there anymore. The other thing, this line over here, TX4, if you double click on that, instead of having Roger, Roger, you'll have Roger, Roger 73. I'll show you what I mean. If I double click on this now, you can see this says Roger, Roger, Roger. What a waste of time. Now he's got to send you Roger, 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 and then you send him the 73. So instead of doing that, I double click here, and notice it changed it to Roger, Roger 73. That ends the QSO. I send two pieces of information on one message. What this does is it cuts out 30 seconds out of a QSO. Doesn't seem like much, but if you're in a contest and you want to get as many QSOs as you can, this is important. So the little tricks that you can do to cut corners, but yet still make a complete QSO with a signal report in both directions and a 73 in both directions. So that's good to know. Okay, so that is what WSJTX looks like. Now, if we turn off WJTX and we turn on Grid Tracker, you can see here there's a whole bunch of options in here. Right now, I'm working 30 meters, which is what this is showing you right here as I'm on 30 meters. Let me click on that so you can see me over there. Yeah, right here that's where I am. I'm on 30 meters. I could change it easily just by going to WSJTX and changing my setup. So far, everything seems to be going good. I hope people are watching. If you are watching and you want to send me a message, go on Facebook. You can send me a message on Facebook. I should see it. Okay, let me just check and see if that's working. That was my message. Let me refresh my screen. I want to make sure that I'm getting out now. I've been on here. Yeah, I'm getting out now. Okay. So far, I'm the only one watching. But I think if I type low audio. Oh, well, thank you, Alan Wheelock, for letting me know that message. Why I didn't get it in my chat screen, I don't know. But I'm going to try to turn up the audio a little. Hold on. I hope that sounds a little bit better. 1, 2, 3, 4. According to my VU meter, I should be getting out there pretty good, but we can adjust that audio a little bit. Yeah, it looks pretty good now on my screen. All right, so this is having, oh, wow, I got closed captioning too. I didn't even know that was running. All right, so that is how I see where to call. But you see this button right here? Let me show you this button right here on Grid Tracker, this one right here. If you click that, another window opens up. That is the call log. This is the call log. These are all the people that I can communicate with right this very moment. Right here, you see them on the screen right here. This is the call log from WSJTX. I'm sorry, from the decodes from WSJTX going into Grid Tracker. All right, and what you can see here, I'll show you. Anything where the color is filled in, like all these call signs here, that means I've talked to them. I haven't talked to them. You see the one with the line through it? That means I do have a QSO with that person. The countries, all the countries over here, the DXCC column, all those countries would be filled in if I had not talked to them before, but I have. So they're all with a black background. Here's the ones calling CQ. Here's a guy in Spain calling CQDX. I can click on him here, And immediately it loads him into my WSJTX window. As you can see here, here's that Spanish station I just clicked on. And now it's sending messages to him. Here it is right here. I'm telling him his signal report is minus 15. All right. So that's how you can go from the call lookup to the actual making a QSO with the person, is click on it in Grid Tracker. What does this all do? This is all also tied into Ham Radio Deluxe log. And this is what that looks like. This is the Ham Radio Deluxe log. We'll turn these other ones off for now so we don't clutter the screen. This is the Ham Radio Deluxe log, which is this right here. Let me make sure you can see that. Yeah, you can see my mouse on there. Okay, so right now I have, for some reason, this is one of the glitches I ran into. I don't know why it isn't decoding. I don't need my alarms on to get it to decode. I want to decode everything, not just calling CQ or calling me. I want to see everybody here. You can go to the cluster. This is the cluster. This shows you all the kind of stuff that's going on online. Everything from 50 here, 21, 40 meters. There's all kinds of stuff going on here. And these X's mean I have never contacted these people. But I don't want to mess with that right now because I want to stick to, right now we're on 30 meters and we're using WSJTX to try to make QSOs on 30 meters. And I'm trying to get this guy in Spain. I wish he would respond. That's another question people might have. How do you know that you are transmitting? How do you know that your signal's getting out there? Aspetta, we know how to fix that too. All right, now we're going to go back to my PSK reporter page, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. That's right here. Here's what I'm getting. This is only the last 2 hours, the signals that I've sent out. The green is 30 meters. The pink is 10. The gold here is 20 meters. So these gold lines here, those are all 20 meters. The green are 30 meters. That's what we're on now. And this is every place I've gotten. How do I know that? Look at this top line here. This is pskreporter.info. Go to that web page and you can find this information. On the very top here, I say I want to look at all bands, show all signals, transmit and received, sent and received by call sign KO4PDI using FT8 over the last 2 hours. So this is just over the last 2 hours. I've basically blanketed the earth with my signal on FT8. So now I know my setup is correct and I am transmitting out. I am getting out of my little puddle here in Florida. So we know we're transmitting. This guy doesn't seem to want to respond to us. He's been ignoring us. I've sent out numerous amounts of calls to him, but he's busy talking to somebody else. So we're going to go back to just calling CQ on WSJTX. You can see that right there. I'll get that on for you. Oh, not that one. I want to get rid of that. That one I want to get rid of. All right, so you can see I dumped him, went down here, TX6, and just hit enable transmit again. So this is just a quick overview because when I make a QSO, which I was hoping I could do one during this live, once I make a QSO, it will automatically log it on PSK Reporter, on QRZ, and in my Ham Radio Deluxe logbook. The logbook is right here. Show that to you. That's the logbook. This up above, this is the actual log, the top half of this. And if you look at this right here, I have it set up so every 2 lines is a different color. You don't want to have it just all one color or all white because you can't count them. Like this guy, David Arcadia, I got him on FT8. What state was he in? He was in the United States.
It doesn't say what state. I thought I had that in here too. I thought I had state here. Okay, this is cool. We just got a bunch of spots on the bottom here. See this? This is showing me only people on there, not necessarily calling CQ. They're just on the frequency right now. And this gives you the status. For instance, this first guy, SQ1BHH. I never heard that. That's interesting. Where is he? He's in Poland. I don't have him. I've never gotten him. So I'm going to double click on him. And now you'll see, because I double clicked on him, if you look over at WSJTX, I'll show it to you. It filled in his information on here with the messages for him. So now we wait and see if he responds back to me. If he responds back to me, this dot will move down one and send him another message and then another message. It will do it automatically. All right, so we're calling him twice now in a row, and he hasn't responded. But we'll keep trying. We'll see if we can get somebody, because what will happen is if he acknowledges me, oh, look at this. Here's somebody calling me. I just noticed on the HRD log, not that's the logbook, on call log here. It's a little tough because I'm doing everything on the same screen. This guy, look at the guy right here. What's his UR3? This guy's in the Ukraine. Let's see if we can acknowledge him. He's calling me. I'm going to click on him and get him to respond to me. The reason I'm looking to my left is the screens you're looking at over there are sitting up to my left over here. So you'll see he's doing that. He's calling me. So I just clicked on his name to activate my messages to him, and now everything disappeared. Hey, I don't know what happened there. Oh, that's the problem. My radio every now and then goes out of data mode. Let me see if it's in data mode. Tune. Still in data. When it's not in data mode, then no power goes out. So, all right, it's transmitting now in data mode to this guy, SQ1, the guy in Poland. We're going to try to get him. Even though the call log disappeared, he's still there. And you can see there's my setup. So yeah, the issues I've been having in my ham shack could be RFI. I don't know. I've dealt with it before. I've talked to Ham Radio Deluxe about it, and they seem to think I have more toroids in my shack. Hey, we made a QSO. He finished the call. Notice. All right, this is cool. Notice the dot is on the bottom line. You have to hit enable transmit again, but I'm going to hit OK here. And I want you to watch when I hit OK. I'll turn on the HRD log. Look at the top line of the log. It's about to change, because as soon as I accept this and I tell it OK, boom, he got added to the top line of the log. Right here is Poland, SQ1 Bravo Hotel, and that's in Poland. I just made that QSO with him. And WSJTX logged it into HRD log. And if I go to my QRZ log, that will be the newest entry on my QRZ log also. It does it all. How does that all work? My folks, my friends, this is the complicated part. I'm going to do my best, but I am not an expert at it. What you need to do is, if you decide to get Ham Radio Deluxe, which is an amazing price at 20% off, use KO4PDI 20 as a checkout coupon, and you will get 20% off Ham Radio Deluxe only till Monday. So you only got 48 hours. So make sure you use it. Otherwise, they're not going to give me a discount code anymore. So make sure you use that code. If you look over here at HRD log right now, notice this. What was the call sign we just did? SQ1 Hotel Bravo. See here, this color? This one's lit up with a maroon thing. That's telling me I never got that station. So I'm going to double click on him now. And we're going to try to contact this guy. And then we hit enable transmit. And we'll see if we can get him. This guy is in Liechtenstein. I didn't even know that was a country. Liechtenstein. All right, so we're going to try to make QSO with him, but let me show you the settings on WSJTX. We got to get this on the screen somehow. Let's go to General, and we'll add in, let's see, WSJTX, log, call log. Let me add in another one. Window capture, we're going to call that settings, WSJTX, tell it OK, and there they are on the screen. Okay. Bingo, there we are. Okay, so look at this. This is the settings for WSJTX. Now, let me move this down a little. Okay, so here you have lock that there. Okay, so here's the first tab is general. There's some very important things you have to do in WSJTX and Grid Tracker and what's the other program? My mind's going blank. Grid Tracker, WSJTX, to get it to work with Ham Radio Deluxe. First things first, you have to put your call sign in under the General tab. Then you have to put your grid square here under that, also still under the General tab. Check these boxes like I have checked two in this line. Take a good look at this. You got to pause it, look at it, and set yours up the same way. Do that. Now, the radio is different. Normally, when using WSJTX, you would put the radio that you're using in that top line. Not going to do that here. You're going to put Ham Radio Deluxe up here. See this? I don't have IC 7300 there. Although if you wanted to use this without Ham Radio Deluxe, that's what you would do. You would pick the IC 7300. All right. On this side, on the right side of the settings, you see you have to pick CAT. You have to pick rear data. Okay. And then data packet and fake it. If you do it right, this green button will light up. And then you can test it by hitting the PTT. And if it turns red, you've done it right. And it's working. You're all set there. Okay. Right now it's transmitting. That's why it turned red again. All right. If we go over to the audio tab, you have to pick the correct audio codecs for your radio, whatever radio you're using. In my case, it's the ICOM 7300. And I have chosen the USB audio codec on both the transmit and receive. Very important. Transmit, I tell it remember power setting for transmit, and tune, to remember the settings when you tune. All right, the rest of this leave alone. These are macros you can put in to send and repeat stuff. Here's the important part. You got to remember this. You have to check, prompt me to log QSO. Next thing, enable PSK reporter spotting, which means as it spots you on the grid, it will report it to PSK reporter. Remember I showed you the map that showed everything that I had connected to? This map right here. The way it knows that, hold on. This one I got to turn off. Okay, here's the map. The way the map knows that I made it to these stations is because I'm reporting that I'm hearing them, and it's reporting that they're hearing me. And this way you get an idea if you're going out. Now, see you had the wrong codec for your audio out, you would never see this. This would just look blank. You see all those lines and the little dots with the different colors telling me how many minutes ago I connected. That wouldn't be there if you didn't have if you didn't have the correct audio codec selected. And believe me, I've made that mistake before. I've made the mistake of not having my audio set correctly and wondering, why am I not getting anywhere? Why am I not decoding? Why am I not? Wasn't anybody responding to me? That's why, because that was set wrong. It also has the different frequencies. If you click on this, you can set different frequencies for different bands. You can put custom colors. This is where it explains to you what all the colors are on WSJTX. And this is the advanced tab. There shouldn't be anything you have to do here. But the most important tab, reporting. Down here, you'll notice. Oh, let me turn that back on the screen. It's hard. I need a producer. That's what I need. Hey, Josh, be my producer. All right. If you look on here, in the middle section, right here, this is very important. You don't want to use TCP/IP, so don't click that. You want to use Enable PSK Reporter. And then this IP address, you must remember this IP address. 224.0.0.1 is what it is for me. Maybe different for you, but in a minute I'll tell you what the reason is for that. Then you have to have your port. In this case, it's 2237. This is important because this is the information you need for Grid Tracker, so that Grid Tracker can talk to this and this can talk to Grid Tracker, okay? And WSJTX can also. Down here, your secondary UDP server, you need to have the correct port in there. In this case, it's 127.0.0.1, and it's 2333 is the default port number. Now I'm going to show you why that's important. Let's close out this, and let's go over to the settings in WSJTX. Let's show you that on the screen, not on Grid Tracker. Let's put that up on the screen. Turn off the call log, turn off WSJTX, turn off HRT. I would leave that on, video capture device. Nope, that's me. Leave that. PSK reporter, turn that off. I thought I shut WSJTX off. Why am I still seeing it on the screen? Need to get rid of this. Hold on, hold on. I'll get it. I'll figure this out. No. What screen is that? That's still up there. Not that one. Not the radio cam. Not that one. PSK reporter. I can't. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oof. Now, what was it I was talking about? Grid Tracker. Here's the settings in Grid Tracker. This is what I was talking about. Okay, remember that port 224.0.0.1, and it was in port 2237. Notice what we have here. Multicast needs to be checked right here. This button right here needs to be highlighted. This IP address needs to be the same one that you had in WSJTX. My case, it's 224.0.0.1, and the port number is 2237. Got it? Okay. This 2333. This should be. Let's just see if that helps. Okay. Anyway, so that's one of the most important settings. Now, if you've ever used Grid Tracker, you know that this thing will automatically log your information on all your places you want to log it. In my case, I have it on QRZ right here. I have it on right here, Logbook of the World, and EQSL. Those are the three places that every time I make a QSO, Grid Tracker will make sure it gets uploaded to those locations, which is QRZ, Logbook of the World, and EQSL. Those are all worthy of their own videos, each one of them, and I'm not going to go into that right now. Let me see. Somebody's asking a question on Facebook. George Donahue. I'm getting a message that he's messaging me on Facebook. Oh, he commented on a memory. Never mind. I thought it was on this. Okay, let me refresh the screen. I'm going to click on the live feed on Facebook and see if I can see the chat right next to it. Yeah, there we go. I'll turn the volume down. Yeah, I can notice the Facebook audio is slightly delayed, so don't panic. All right, so you see how this you have to set up separately. The most important settings are on the General tab on Grid Tracker. These IP addresses are what you need to check and make sure they're identical in both Grid Tracker and WSJTX. Now, you also need to set up your Ham Radio Deluxe logbook. We'll turn that on. Turn that off. And let's see. All right. Close that. We're going to come over here and we're going to go, we're in the logbook. This is what you will need to speak to somebody at Ham Radio Deluxe to really help you set this up. There are a ton of great videos on Ham Radio Deluxe about all this stuff. And you need to make sure this is all set up correctly in order for it to work. I'm just looking for the correct options menu. Oh, here we go. Under Tools, you scroll down to Configure. When you get to Configure, the next place to go to is QSO Forwarding. Here in QSO Forwarding, notice what we have checked. Right here. This is my logbook. I just updated this logbook 3.6.23, so that's what I titled it. I wanted to merge all my QSOs. The port number is 2333. That sound familiar? Isn't that something we saw in WSJTX? Exactly. So you click, look up missing fields on receive, fill in missing fields, and also that's about it. And you have to have this checked also, and you have to have this set it merged. Tell it okay, and now your Ham Radio Deluxe logbook's all ready to go. So this is how it works. There are so many variables. I highly suggest you get over to the Ham Radio Deluxe website and watch all their videos. After you watch all their videos, if you still have issues, create a support ticket. They have a phone number you can call. If you dial that phone number, whether or not they're there or not, they will initiate a ticket for you if you've bought the program, which, by the way, I repeat, between now and Monday, you can get the program for 20% off using the code Kilo Oscar 4 Papa Delta India 20. KO4PDI 20. That's not K04, it's KO Oscar. Kilo Oscar 4 Papa Delta India 20. Use that and you can get 20% off the price. If you have any trouble with that, get in touch with me, let me know. You only have 48 hours from yesterday. Well, actually, yeah. No, from this morning. 48 hours from this morning. So you have that. So we're running QSOs. I'm trying to get a QSO right now with a guy from Austria. He was calling me, and I responded to him, but he's not responding back. Let's see if he responds back. Anyway, this is WSJTX in conjunction with Grid Tracker. And Ham Radio Deluxe. And Ham Radio Deluxe is running my radio. If you look at my radio screen, we're on 30 meters. We've been on 30 meters the whole time I've been here. I could give this guy one more cycle. If he doesn't respond to me, we're dumping him. According to my geochron, from 80 meters down to 15 meters is good right now because we are on the gray line. It's getting dark. We'll see where we can go from here. So this is WSJTX, Grid Tracker, and Ham Radio Deluxe all working in conjunction with each other. No, it was not easy. Yes, I was able to get it working. There's a bunch of quirks. My computer has a quirk where every now and then it just changes all my USB ports. They don't stay assigned to where they're supposed to be assigned, so a lot of times I have to redo it. And I'm stressing it out too. I have numerous USB issues. I have I have 3 cameras, all in USB ports. And the bad thing is I got the same camera for all 3, and they all have the same name. I can't rename the cameras. I want to name them 1, 2, and 3 or something, and it won't let me do it. Anyway, so now you have 3 cameras. You have the radio plugged into a USB port. That's 4. You have all kinds of other stuff plugged into the USB port. So I'm really stressing out my computer when it comes to USBs. But it seems to be working well. Let's see what else is going on. I hope that gave you a little example of how good this all works together. I hope my audio is better. In the beginning, somebody commented that the audio was low. I turned it up a little bit, and according to the VU meter, it's right where it's supposed to be right now. So if it's not loud enough, turn up your volume. All right, so you're looking at my Ham Radio Deluxe log right now, and this guy is not coming back to me. Just for the fun of it, let's dump him. And let's go to, it says 80 meters is good. Let's jump up to 80 meters. Why not, right? I have an antenna and the capability on this radio to go all the way up to 160 meters. We'll sit on 80 for a while. Now, if you notice, when I went on 80 meters, I changed it with WSJTX. I just hit Enable Transmit. And you're going to notice on this window, this should change to 80 meters. And there it goes. It just changed to 80 meters. This is where I am right now on this frequency right here. These people are on these other frequencies. These guys are probably doing CW. This guy's probably doing voice. But we're not looking for voice right now. We're just looking for QSOs. I'm going to clear the QSO screen and wait for the new decodes to come in here. What you're hearing on that beeping is my FTM 400. I got it hooked up to an Australian net right now, and I was listening to that before I came on the air. All right, again, it did not go digital, so I have to tell it go digital. I don't know why that happens. I mean, that's why it wasn't decoding. If I hit tune. Now, when you do WSJTX, see this ALC right here? You want to keep this down as low as possible. So right now I'm booming out at 100 watts and a very tiny ALC. That's what you want. Not when you're talking, but when you're doing computer stuff. You don't want the radio cutting out signals to make sure that they don't go over. You don't want it to automatically control the level. So you turn the output of WSJTX down. I'll show you where you do that. If you watch the radio screen, this slider over here is what you use to control your ALC. Right now, there's no ALC. It's transmitting right now. There's no ALC. If I turn this up a little bit and I hit tune again, now you see some ALC there? Let me tune it up. See ALC? That's bad. You don't want that. You want to turn this lever down. If you're looking at the radio screen, you notice the ALC just disappeared. There it is right there. If I turn this level down, it disappears. That's what you want. You don't want it adjusting the level of the signal at all because that cuts out signals that you'll lose. So remember that. So we'll take that tune off. We'll tell it enable. And I'm not seeing anybody. I didn't show you yet the waterfall from WSJTX. Let me give you the waterfall. Add another one of these. Window capture. This is going to be the waterfall for WSJTX. Nope, that's not what I want. All right, here is the waterfall. All these marks you see here in the waterfall, these marks around here, these are all signals that were on, what were we on before? We were on 30 meters before. These were people transmitting. Notice we're on 80 meters now and there's nobody. Although it looks like somebody's coming on right around here. If we move this here, if you move this by clicking above it with your mouse and moving your little green bracket there, if there's somebody there, it'll put it in white above it in the program. But obviously there's nobody on 80 meters. Let's go down to 40. Now 40 I've been having issues with. Let's see if 40 works for me now. And it did it again. It went to analog, not digital. Stop the transmit. Now let's see if it stays there now. No, it's not. Why is it not transmitting in digital on 40 meters? I don't understand. I have to tell it to switch to digital. And if it's not on, if it doesn't say USB-D in the window right here, see this right here? If that doesn't say USB-D, it will not transmit any power. That has to say digital. Okay, now it is. Now it's sticking. But we got a little ALC, so we'll turn down the ALC a little bit. Bam, got rid of the ALC. Now we're not losing any signal. Great, it's working. Okay, so now we're trying on 40 meters. We're seeing if we can get anything. Let's look at the call log. We could turn off the waterfall. Let's turn the call log back on. And lo and behold, we're getting a few contacts. Turn that off. I'm clearing up the screen here. It's a little busy. And where's the call log? Let's move that up a little. There it is. Now look at this. I've talked to people in Hungary, Italy, and Wales, right? That's why those are dark. But look at the grid square for the station in Hungary. I have never connected with that grid square. So I'm going to click on him and hopefully make a QSO, and I'll have another grid square under my belt. This is what's nice about WSJTX and Grid Tracker is Grid Tracker makes it so clear that you can find stuff you haven't worked before. This guy is in Hungary, and I can't read it on the other screen. It's too far away, the guy's name. But anyway, this is who I'm working with. Now, supposedly, Ham Radio Deluxe is supposed to be able to do that too, which, by the way, if you buy it between now and Monday, you get 20% off if you use the code KO4PDI 20. Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India 20. I'm not going to make anything on that. I don't get any money for that. All I get is their love and affection, I guess, for promoting their product. And I do promote it. It's complicated. You need to learn a lot on it. But boy, when it works, it's a blast. It's a blast. When I'm doing voice, the cluster on the right-hand side of the screen on each band, I could just click on a call sign and it instantly tunes my radio to their signal. So I get it. I get a QSO pretty quick. I get through a lot of pileups that way. I'm only using 100 watts. I don't have a transformer. I mean a amplifier. I don't have any of that stuff. I straight wire. I'm using a 160 meter end-fed antenna from DX Engineering. Actually, it's Palomar Engineering end-fed antenna, and I always wanted to get on 160, and this antenna gives me the ability to do that very easily. And I have it where it's less than 2 SWR from 160 meters up to 6 meters. So that one antenna I use for all those bands, every band in between, analog and digital. And it works fantastic. And it can handle, I think, 500 watts. I'm only putting 100 watts into it, so we're doing fine. All right. I think that's about it. I'm going to look at the Facebook page again and see if anybody sent me questions on Facebook. Nope. Nobody's commenting. There's one like. Well, that was nice. One comment. I had 9 people watching, so I appreciate everybody that watched. Tim, Alan, my mom came on and watched. That's so nice. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I've been on for about, I don't know, how long have I been doing this? I started at 6:30, so yeah, about almost an hour, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. What am I saying? I hope you enjoyed that. I highly suggest getting in touch with Ham Radio Deluxe if you would like to use their product. It has a million other ways you could use it too, from decoding CW to doing digital work, doing satellite work, tracking a satellite, using their system to track satellites and talk to satellites. I happen to use the sat box. I think that's the best. Someday I'll do a whole thing on the sat box. I've done a few videos on that. And I hope you enjoyed this. And stay tuned. We'll be doing more stuff like this and more giveaways. Don won a nifty band plan. He picked that up Thursday night. I had a contest. If you were the next person to subscribe to my page, you got one of these, and he got it, and I just mailed that out to him. And we've given away a radio. We've given away, what else did we get? We gave away a couple of these nifty band plans. Yeah, that's about it. I thoroughly enjoy this little hobby of ours, and I want to keep going. And you guys have any questions, or you want to ask me questions about specific items, Parks on the Air, I just won. I didn't even know there was an award for this. I've done probably 6 is my max, six parks in one day on Parks on the Air, and I just got a Rover Award for that. And that was pretty cool. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. And what I want you to do is, if you think this was a great video, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and my Twitter feed, and also my Facebook, Ham Fun with KO4PDI. And the Twitter is at KO4PDI. The YouTube page is Ham Fun with KO4PDI. All you got to do is put KO4PDI into Google and see what you come up with, and I'm everywhere. So you're more than welcome to join. Someday I may even have a Patreon channel. If it ever gets to the point where people send me stuff to review or try out, I'll do that. And I probably won't keep it. I'll probably send it to you unless it's something, I'll give it away to somebody in the group. I have a little box I hooked up to my radio that's pretty interesting. It's called the Antenna Disconnect Actuator by Paradan. And someday I'll do a video on that and tell you what it does. It's basically the last resort in case of a lightning strike. Any voltage comes in off your coax during a storm, this thing will automatically disconnect it from the radio and ground out the center pin of the antenna and the radio so that no damage can happen to it. It even has a gas protector in it that will blow if heavy voltage comes through. So that's another good way to protect yourself. I also have military grade lightning protection outside. Every mast has its own ground rod. They're all tied together in a giant web that connects it all to the house ground and electric ground. Everything's bonded together, which is what everybody should do. And you should have an individual ground wire run to each one of your radios. It's another way to protect them in case of a storm. This is the time of year I'm going to start getting a lot of thunder and lightning storms.